All right, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing great. I am here for part two of the Instacart episode, and I'm excited about going through this with you guys. So, I got to start off by saying this, okay? First and foremost, I just want to give a shout out to the Charlie Kirk show and Charlie Kirk's team. I actually ordered this online. I saw like some promotion pop up on Facebook, and basically spend like $10, and all the proceeds go to Charlie Kirk's foundation or his organization, and it's pretty cool shirt. So whether you agree or not, this is what I'm wearing today. So anyway, so yeah, about Instacart. So I got a disclaimer. All right, I'm not here to throw Instacart under the bus necessarily. I will say this: I actually do rideshare with Lyft full time. Okay, I'm a driver, so I drive passengers to and from where they need to go. Okay, and occasionally, because I live right across the street from a shopping plaza, I jump on the Instacart app, especially when I just want, no one in my car, or I just want to make some phone calls, or just rock out to some podcast that I don't have to worry about if someone else is listening or judging or going to give me a bad review about, right? So I go do an Instacart order. And I've been doing it on and off for probably like 4 or 5 years, okay? Instacart doesn't necessarily pay shoppers based off of the minimum wage, I will say, for New York State, because that's where I'm at, okay? I noticed that the majority of the orders that I'm actually partaking in and servicing are ones that actually have a large sum voluntary tip from the customers, okay? And so I'm just pointing it out because from what I understand about Instacart, and I might be missing some details, so just, guys, give me some grace. This is my opinion, my perspective, okay? If you don't agree, that's fine. If you do agree, cool. You guys are more than welcome to leave the comments and be respectful, okay? But I'll say this about their pay. When I actually do the math based off of the hourly minimum wage, at least, right? At least if you're gonna go with the bare minimum, like we're not worth more, like the service is not worth more. I don't think Instacart is actually fulfilling their role as a private contractor to actually supply sufficient amount of money to deliver this order. So let's just look at an Instacart order, for example, right? So for Instacart order, you're basically going to turn on the app. So if I was to like turn on my app right now, I can see a bunch of different orders that I can choose from. And let's just say, because I live across the street from Target and Lowe's and stuff like that, let's say there's one right there at, let's say Best Buy right there. Okay. And Best Buy is only a pickup item. Okay. And let's say I choose that one, and I'm going to have a certain amount of time that it would take for me to get there and to start the order. They give me a certain amount of time for the pickup. Okay. Then they give me a certain amount of time that they would like me to deliver the item. And sometimes that delivery time is not even based off of what the customer's asking for. It's just kind of like some algorithm that Instacart calculates sometimes. So anyway, in that scenario, there's a few things that are happening. Okay, first of all, I need a vehicle, right? So in order for me to get to the store, right, and a lot of times people don't think about this, for that customer who's not going to the store, whether they have a car or not, you still got to keep in mind that someone had to pay for car insurance, maybe possibly a car payment. Okay, they had to put gas in their tank, and then they had to use their driving skills. All right, which is involving some risk because of other drivers on the road, maybe weather conditions. Okay, and then drive over to the store. Okay, so in this case, Best Buy is right across the street. Easy peasy, right? So those are the four things that come off the bat. Then now I'm looking at it as a human being and taking the time to service them. You got to ask yourself, what is this service really worth, right? So I'm going to put myself in the customer's shoes, okay? So let's say it's just someone who's in high school and they're ordering a remote control or a new video game or something, okay? I know that if you got a remote control and a video game, you're looking at over $120 right there, right? And so you got to think, like, what is it worth it so that you don't have to go outside in 18-degree Fahrenheit weather, get dressed, put some shoes on, coat, right? Get in the car or get on a bus or, whatever, train to go to the store than to backtrack back to home so you can actually play your video game with your new controller and your game. What is it worth, right? Or maybe it's someone who's ordering a large flat screen TV, or maybe it's someone who's ordering the new Starlink because they want to have internet service from Elon Musk. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. Vacuum cleaner, you name it. What is that service worth to you to have someone use their vehicle, use uh their person, their body, to go physically go into a store to, scan the Instacart app with the employee so that they can take your item and transport it back to your home? What is that worth to you? And I think that's something that's not being addressed by Instacart. I think this business model is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a great business model to have someone deliver something to your home. Okay. Let's use another scenario so we can make more sense of it. Let's say it's a stay-at-home mom, right? And let's say that she's got the kids at the house, right? So now, to avoid having to get the kids dressed, get them in order, make sure they ate, or if they're babies or whatever, make sure they diapers have been changed, or make sure they use the bathroom, pile into the car, drive, I don't know, 10 to up to 30 minutes, right, to the store to get what you need to get. And then someone might have to go to the bathroom, so now you got to take them to the bathroom, right? If they got coats on, you got to take that coat off. You got to go through the process, right? Or if they're hungry, whatever the case may be, and then you got to go back home, get them undressed, and then boom, you finally made it back home, right? So my question to the customers and Instacart would be, what is this service really worth to you? Right. So anyway, I say that because I got a bunch of Instacart orders here. Okay, I got a bunch that I broke down, and I'm just gonna go over it with you guys. And like I said, I really want to get some feedback. I really want to know what people are thinking. So hopefully this actually gets to the masses. Hopefully I can get some traction at least here in Buffalo and New York State, New York City, if that. But so let's just look at one of these orders I got. Okay, all right, and just so you guys can see what I'm looking at, I took some screenshots of orders that I thought was crazy ridiculous. Okay. All right. So this one is for Aldi supermarket. And on the screen, I'm going to have them pop up on there for you guys. On the screen here, it's talking about the total orders worth $17.59. Okay. Now, this is about, let's see here, two customer orders and 2 deliveries. Okay. And that's going to be a total of driving on 5.4 miles, so almost 6 miles of driving. Not to mention I got to get to the store, so let's tack on another mile, right? So about 6.5 miles of driving, okay? So that's probably, 20 minutes of your time right there? Just right there is like 20 to 25 minutes, right? So then you got 88 items. So guys, picture this, right? You go into a store and I got to actually pick out 88 items, okay? Now, I'm going to talk from a generous standpoint. Okay, a generous standpoint would be that it will take only 1 minute to find each item. But we all know, especially in the Aldi's, and especially if you've never been to that store, okay, they don't put things in the same place all the time. Even in the frozen section, it's never in the same place all the time, all year round. Okay, so let's just say it takes 88 minutes. I'm gonna do some math right here with you guys. Pull up my calculator. So let's say it takes 88 minutes plus the 25 minutes of driving to the store and to those, locations. We're talking about 113 minutes, okay? You're getting paid $17.59. There's a $3.15 tip. So let's subtract the tip because that's not what you're getting paid for the job. That's just the generosity of the customer giving you something. So that's going to come out to $14 and let's just say $14.50. We're going to round it. Let's say it's $14.50. So let's say you got 113 minutes. So $14.50 is the total cost. Okay. And we're talking about 100. So $14.50 divided by 113 minutes. That means I'm getting about 12 cents per minute. Okay. So if I was to round that out to an hour times 60 minutes, that means I'm getting paid $7.69 per hour. Okay. The minimum wage in New York State, I believe, is $15.50. I think it is $16.50 in New York City. Okay, so that's well below. So if I was to subtract from that, that's a difference of another $7.80 that you're not making that hour. Okay, so even if you added the $3.15 plus $3.15, you're still getting paid. You're still getting paid $4.65 less than the minimum wage to do that order. Okay, and so this is where my problem is that I don't think Instacart has calculated to make sure this is actually conducive for your time and effort to make, I would say, even a minimal acceptable amount of money. So that's just one example, okay, guys? Um, 88 items, that's a lot, all right? Let me see if I can find something else that maybe it doesn't seem too crazy, okay? Actually, no, we're gonna go crazy again. We're gonna go crazy. So here's another one. This is one order, okay, for $21. Okay, it's only 2 miles away, so you figure I gotta drive to the store and then drive to the location. So probably like a total of 6 miles. So another 25 minutes, right? Well, this one has a zero tip, okay, and it's 118 items. So let's just say once again, 118 items. Let's say it takes 118 minutes. So let's be real though. Sometimes it takes longer to find these items. Sometimes these items are not in stock. Sometimes these items are moved, especially when it's a grocery store that we're talking about. Okay, and this is a top supermarket. They definitely move things around a lot. So let's just say in this scenario, you got 118 minutes. Okay, 118 plus say another 20. Let's say 25 minutes of driving. Okay, we're looking at 143 minutes. Well, let's say take that $21 divided by 143 minutes. That means you're getting paid 14 cents per minute times 60. You're making $8.81 per hour. If I do the math on that again, which was 118 plus 25 divided by 60 minutes, that's 2 hours and 38 minutes. Sorry, not 2 hours and 38 minutes. Let's just say it's 2 hours, okay? Times 8. Let's just say times 8. You're making $19 in 2 hours. This is bananas. So once again, 118 plus another 25, 143 minutes. Guys, this is nuts. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's do another one. Okay, this is a crazy one, another crazy one. So this one is going to be 51 items that you're going to shop for one customer. There's no tip, and the amount you're going to make is $6.69. This is a no-brainer. So this is 51 items. So let's just say it's 51 minutes, right? Let's just tack on the fact that you're driving 1 mile. Okay, so let's say it takes you, that store is actually not near me, so that's going to take me about, that store might take me like 15, 20 minutes to get to, right? And then the home is 1 mile away. So let's just say it takes 30 minutes of travel time plus the 51 items to shop for. And I'm not even talking about cashing out, y'all. I'm not even tacking on all these other things. But let's just say it takes about 71 minutes. 71 minutes. So that's a little bit over an hour. The total for this order is still $6.69. So that means that you're actually going to get paid $9 per hour on this order. Okay? If it was an hourly rate. Okay? No, sorry, $9 less. You're gonna actually get paid $9 less than the bare minimum wage of New York State. So anyway, I can keep going on and on about this. I took tons of screenshots, as you guys can see, okay? And I really just want to come on here and point out that Instacart is ripping people off. You know, you got this one order right here. You get paid $4.56, no tip, for 15 items. So that's already at least 15 minutes to be in the store, plus another 2 miles to drive just to get to the store is going to be another 2 miles, so another 4 miles. 4 miles total plus 15 items shopping. But my thing is this: to buy someone their fruits and vegetables, their snacks, their salami, their tortilla, their taco meat. So I'm assuming this person's probably making dinner for their family. For you to go and get that for them and save them the travel time to the store, save them the time to shop, possibly with kids, to go back home to unpack all of them, for them to only have to open their door now and have a grocery bag at their front door so they can prepare dinner, you know, after work or on the weekend. What is it worth? Is it worth only $4.56, or is it worth more than that? Right. So anyway, I think something that needs to change, and I think that they're doing a disservice to the American citizens. I think they're doing a disservice with something that can have a lot of potential. And what you're gonna start seeing, or maybe not yet, but I know I see this a lot with rideshare. You're gonna start seeing a lot of people start their own little side hustle business where people just pay them directly because they're being underpaid. You know, um, if we were to look at the breakdown of what Instacart makes in comparison to the shopper, yeah, I understand that the company has to make money, but the company's making money digitally versus someone's actually taking their sweat equity, their time, their effort, their car to actually go and make someone else's life easier. I mean, I've delivered to disabled people. What is that worth to a disabled person? Is it something that should be dependent on someone's tip, or should all these factors kind of be figured out into the cost of the service? In my opinion, it should be factored into the cost of the service. But I'm not, like I said, once again, I'm not trying to throw this company under the bus, but I truly believe that they need to fix their business model. And if they don't, I feel like people should be petitioning. I know there's a lot of like Lyft and Uber strikes out there, but I think this is something worth taking and filing a professional petition that Instacart reevaluate their compensation plan. I think that's the biggest issue I'm seeing here. And yeah, one more. We'll do one more, and I'll call it a day on this. Let me try and find a good one where it seems like it's paying out. Okay, here's a really good one. This one's $42.22 payout. Okay, it's one delivery. There's actually a heavy pay, so there's some items in there that might be a little heavy. And there's 72 items. Okay, so let's see what else. It's only 2.5 miles away, so I got to drive there, so another 4 miles. So let's say once again 6 miles, 7 miles, another 25 minutes, right? In this scenario, you got 72 items plus 25 minutes. Okay, let's see what we got there. 72 plus 25. You got about 97 minutes, so like about an hour and a half, right? Let's just call it an hour and a half. We're not gonna add in checking out. We're not gonna add in time if you can't find items. We're just gonna call it an hour and a half, right? But here's the kicker: out of that $42.22, is only $22.22 is being paid for by Instacart. So Instacart. So let's just say this right here takes an hour and a half. So you're basically getting paid an hour and a half for $12.22. All right. So let's just do the math on that. 1550 divided by 2 is 775. So 775 plus 1550 equals an hour and a half of minimum wage pay. Okay. Instacart's only paying you $12.22. That means you have gotten underpaid $11.03 if you're going based off of New York State's bare minimum wage. How crazy is that? So, thankfully, in this scenario, as I was saying before, it's a $42.22 payout. So you actually are going to make, okay, more money because of a $30 tip. All right. So in this scenario, you add a $30 tip to this, okay? So that means plus 30, 42, 22, minus the 1550 for the first hour, and then minus another $7.50. So in this scenario, you actually made an additional $19.22. But once again, I'm just gonna stress, this was not because of Instacart's compensation plan. This is because of the generosity of the customer. Let's just be real. How many customers out there can give a big $30 tip every time they make an order? I think that's unrealistic. So I think Instacart really needs to evaluate their compensation plan. I think they need to do some real surveys with their shoppers and also their customers who are making these purchases. There has to be a middle of the ground. We got to figure it out, right? So do I think, once again, do I think they have a great business model? Yes, but I think that it's not serving the community, especially if your goal is to make some extra money. It's still no good, in my opinion, right? I think even if you're a kid and you want to make some extra money, I don't have any kids yet, but I want my kids to be making at least what the state requires. And if you're an entrepreneur, you always want your kid to make more. Where in the world do you ever say, oh, I want my kid to make less than minimum wage? Or where in the world do you say to yourself, hey, my time is worth less than what the state values me? The last time I checked, you are worth way more than you know you're worth. Okay, God knows your worth. I mean, we are children of a king, right? And we are princesses and princesses. And I think these businesses should definitely be keeping us in mind. Being a full-time Lyft driver, I think I average over $30 an hour. So if I get these orders sometimes and I'm looking at them, I don't take them, but I look at them and I'm like, they don't know my wealth, they don't appreciate me, and they don't celebrate me. I mean, they might say good job with your orders and good job with your delivery, good job how fast you got the order, but no, this is a business. So the way you show appreciation to your shoppers is how much you compensate them, right? So, and I also learned this through my Amway business. Amway is what you put out is what you get, right? But in this kind of scenario, as a private contractor still, what you put out is not necessarily what you get, right? So anyway, that's my little rant on Instacart. Hopefully this comes off as productive and constructive. And look forward to reading your comments later.